Hi, my name is Ryan Cargletter, and this is my presentation for this week's class. The Scopes trial in 1925 was a significant example of the larger fundamentalist-modernist controversy in which Matthew Avery Stutton argues in his book American Apocalypse, A History of Modern Evangelicalism, that struggles over evolution from a Darwinian perspective were seen as the core of this controversy. Avery also contrasts the fundamentalist and modernist views in this controversy of the Bible as either being divinely inspired and eternally trustworthy, and its unchanging claims that God alone created all life as it is on earth and children taught to live for God, or that the Bible is human-based and not reliable, and life's origins and changes were through the natural processes based on perpetuating one's existence as seen in evolution, and children were to be taught the most recent scientific trends. Gene Bible's article, The Scopes Monkey Trial, 47 years after Mencken reveled in its circus-like atmosphere in the Baltimore Sun, September 24, 1972, notes that it initially focused on a teacher named John Thomas Scopes, who was arrested in 1925 for teaching evolution in the biology class at Rhea County Consolidated High School in Dayton, Tennessee, which was in violation of the Butler Law in Tennessee that forbid teaching anything contradicting the Bible's account of man being created by God. After Scopes' arrest, Bible argues that the case received local and national attention, and each side received help from important figures. William Jennings Bryan, a former candidate for president from the Democrats, would assist the prosecution, and Clarence Darrow, a famous lawyer, would assist the defense. Although the trial's issues and proceedings were intensely followed in America, it was not as closely followed in England. John W. Owen's article, British Unperturbed by U.S. Monkey Case in the Baltimore Sun, July 9, 1925, argues this viewpoint by stating most people of learning and theologians in England were believed to favor evolution, and that the British perspective on supporting evolution was finalized after Huxley and Gladstone's debate. During the trial, the attacks by both sides became intense. The Associated Press article, originally titled as Darrow defeated an effort to bar prayer at trial, and continued as Darrow has defeated an effort to bar prayer at Scopes' trial, in the Evening Star, Washington, D.C., July 14, 1925, examines Darrow's unsuccessful attempts to block the tradition of prayer that was given daily and his attempts to disparage his opponents and their arguments. Robert T. Small notes in his article, Friendly Trial Becomes Bitter in the Evening Star, Washington, D.C., July 14, 1925, of Darrow's personal attacks of religious closed-mindedness and intolerance against Bryan, and the prosecution's attacks against Darrow as being from the North. Avery argues that Bryan's arguments supporting the Bible were popular with the crowd in the court, and that Bryan went after Darrow's previous comments about the negative influence from anti-God and evolutionary views on Darrow's former clients, stated by Darrow from one of his previous trials. Bible notes that although Darrow wasn't allowed to present experts to strengthen his case regarding evolution and the Bible, Darrow could have Bryan give expert testimony on the Bible. Bryan agreed, and the key moment was when Darrow got Bryan to admit that Bryan didn't believe in 6 days of literal 24-hour days. Avery notes that fundamentalists saw this trial as damaging them in the public view, and argues that the main outcome from this trial was the change in viewing fundamentalism. Previous to this trial, fundamentalism was seen as a small number of evangelicals focused on the end of the world, but this perception was changed by the media, liberals who engaged in intellectual pursuits, and those who took a modernist view of theology to refer to all Christians who opposed their views, regardless if they were fundamentalists or not. Bible notes that Scopes was convicted of breaking this law, but the ruling was overturned by the Tennessee Supreme Court due to any penalties over $50 must be given by a jury. Avery argues that fundamentalists' continued existence after the trial showed their desire to struggle for the expression of their theological beliefs with events in society. Overall, this trial had a main impact on the fundamentalist-modernist controversy, with long-lasting effects in American society. Thank you.